So welcome everyone to our April Resident Association meeting. This cell phone says it's 10 o'clock, but I don't know whose cell phone this is. Somebody left it as a gift. It's a Apple, T-Mobile, blue background in the back. Does anybody want to claim this cell phone? Ah, here she is. Is this yours?
Well, let's see if it comes up with a beautiful picture.
There's no picture there.
Maybe I'll get some other hints in there.
Do we think that's her phone? Let's have a show of hands. All right.
It unlocks with my.
Well, all right, you can have it. You can have it. That was a close call here. All right, so we will start with a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Well, the first thing on the agenda, of course, is to introduce new residents here at Kendall. And I know we have a few. We have Midge and Jerry Elliott. Are they in the audience? Please stand up and be recognized. And where are you from? Where are you coming from?
We moved from Amherst.
Amherst, all the way across the mountains here. Welcome, welcome. And we have Sally Hightower. Is Sally Hightower here?
Yes, I'm here.
There she is, Sally Hightower. Came in November, but she didn't move in until what, March? She had a gradual move in.
4 weeks ago.
Well, welcome. And where are you coming from?
Houston.
Houston. Was that in Texas? Well, welcome, welcome. You can see where we have people all over the country waiting to come here. It's hard to get an apartment here. We have so few available. And we have Pat Iskandarian. Is Pat Iskandarian here? She's not here. Well, she moved in here. She's up on the 3rd floor. She's one of my neighbors. So if you're, oh, maybe she's on, I don't know where she is, but anyway, if you see her, welcome her as well. Do we have any other new residents, old residents, or just visitors who have never been to one of these meetings? And who is that?
Robert Gay.
Ah, you've never been introduced? Oh. It's our first meeting, and you are one of our new people here. I know your name is Kathy, your first name?
Barbara.
Yes, I know. What's your first name? Barbara Kathy. Where are you coming from? 3 miles down the road. 3 miles down the road. Well, welcome. And of course, that's why we have almost 100% occupancy here, because we have all these new people coming in here. So anyway, the next thing, I think we've covered all the new people. Now we're going to introduce our housekeeping staff here. They were last introduced last year, and so I want to bring them back on again. you can see them all. You must have the largest staff here in the department here. Oh my God. Are all these people under your care? Well, anyway, I'm gonna ask each of you to introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been working for us and why you're still here.
I'm Kelly Big Bar, and I work on the north side building. And I have been here 22 years. Residents, and I like substituting in and meeting the new ones.
Helen cleans my apartment, so I don't have to worry about a thing. Knocks on my door.
Hello, I'm Sandra Cash. I will have been here a year in May 3rd. I'm on the south side. I have wonderful residents and I have a great team I work with.
Neil and I work on Sunrise Ridge. I've been here 7 years. And I love my residents and I love cleaning, so that's why I'm still here.
Sheila Jackson. I've been here for 6 years, going 6 years in June. And I work at Borden, and I just love working here. That's why I'm still here.
My name is Ashley. I've been here for a year and a half, and my section is the north outside, and I love my residents.
And of course, everybody knows who I am.
I'm Aisha. I'm a floor tech and a 6-month person, so you'll see me around, coming around for 6 months soon. So I love working here because I love seeing the residents, talking to the residents, and the beautiful views that we have here at Kendall.
My name is Kim. I've been here for 6 months and I work in the Borden Center. And I love working with all the residents here. That's why I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I've been here for 5+ years. I don't know, Ben, but it's 5+ years for me.
Been here for a year and a half. I'm the housekeeper of Webster, and I can honestly say I love everything about my job and working at Kendall.
My name is Josie Clark. I've been here about 2 months. I work on Sunrise Ridge, and I love working with the team, and I love my residents.
I'm Teresa Lawson. I've been here 16 years and I love it here. I love the Kendall family. I love all my residents. It's a wonderful place to be.
Diane Boyer. I work on Sycamore and I've been here almost 2 years in July. I love all my residents and I love my coworkers. They're pretty great.
Good morning. I'm Lena.
You have to put it right up at your mouth.
I'm Lena. I've been here for 14 years. This is my crew. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but at Kendall and always have ever since I walked in that door 14 years ago. And I definitely love my crew and I wouldn't leave them.
And we love you.
And we love you.
We do have 3 that's missing. We have Patricia that's down in laundry. She's been here, I think, 19 years. We have Kelly that is a floater up in Borden. She's been here, I think, 2 years. And we have LaShawn that works at Sycamore and she's been here for a year.
And we've got them all trained, so they love us here, but of course, we love our housekeeping staff as well.
Everybody think about your residents that you love.
Thank you.
I'll think of the ones you don't.
All right, thank you very much, Lena, and thank you, housekeeping staff. And we have another introduction here. I'll ask Todd to come up here, introduce our newest staff member here.
All right, thank you. Good morning. I think as most of you know, Kathy, our admin operations person, is out for 8 to 10 weeks on maternity leave. She had little baby Louise on Friday. It is doing just fine. Everybody's doing just fine, which is good. So since I didn't want to try to hold things down for 8 to 10 weeks, because that would be bad. So Sharon White is joining us for that period of time to cover down on those duties. So all the things you asked of Kathy, please ask Sharon. She had a pretty good overlap to get trained up and spun up and smart. So I think we're off to a good start. We can tell everybody whatever you want to say.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I've been here 4 weeks. I'm happy to be here and hope to continue.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Of course, you love all the residents here, right? You love working with all of us here. We're such a great crew. Oh, look at that. We train them real early and make sure that they enjoy being here. Of course, it's not hard to enjoy being here at Kendall. Otherwise, why are we here if we didn't enjoy it as well? Anyway, next we have another, well, I've already introduced her way a long time ago, but Jan, please step forward and tell us what is going on at Kendall, if anything.
So hello, everyone. I'm Jan Bigelow. As of May, I will be here 3 years. I love every one of you. I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. I love every one of you. And last but not least, I love my job. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about what's up. So I want to give you a little update on Brittany. Everybody remembers Brittany. She has fully made her transition to the Borden Center in Webster. She will continue, though, to be involved in the Borden and Webster transitions for independent living. So Danielle, Ron, and I are meeting. We've met once already, and we continue to meet to determine next steps for filling that position that's now vacant. And really think about the tasks that Brittany can continue until we find that replacement. So please do not hesitate. If you have any questions, any concerns, reach out to Brittany, Samantha, Danielle, or myself, and we will be glad to answer any of those questions or help you with your concerns. Another person that you can reach out to as well is Stephanie. So Stephanie is really not solely my administrative assistant. I probably get that much of her time. The board gets this much of her time and you get this much of her time. So she really is there as a contact for all of you. If you don't know where to go, she can definitely help you determine where to go. That didn't come out real well. I love my job. So, Director of IT, recruitment is going well. We have had some resumes. We've actually taken time last Friday for 4 straight hours on Zoom to interview some folks for that position. There will probably be a couple that we will be inviting back for a second interview, but I really want to take my time. We're trying to find the right fit. Gregory's last day is next Thursday. He is on this weekend, so technically his last day is next Friday, but he will not be here because he'll take his manager on duty day off that day. But I did want to take a moment, and I don't think Greg's in here. They're both run around like chickens with their heads cut off most of the time, but I just want to say thank you to Greg. He has added a tremendous amount to our IT and technology platforms here, and in my mind has done a terrific job, and he will be missed, and we wish him well. So just take a moment to talk to Greg and tell him how much we appreciate what he's done here. I also want to thank Vic Crane. Vic took 4 hours on Friday, and he helped us with those initial interviews for our potential IT director. So Vic, thank you so much. received a tremendous amount of support from Dave Baker, who is our IT consultant and a dear friend of mine. We worked together many, many years ago in Pennsylvania together. And also Kurt Rayner from the corporate office. He has been fantastic and will continue to help us through this. So a couple more things. We're talking IT. So I'm going to give you a Wi-Fi network WPN update. So I had a question in the last facilities meeting, and I was asked, what is our level of commitment to the Wi-Fi here at Kendall at Lexington? And I said to that person, it's a tremendous a commitment to getting this Wi-Fi working the way it's supposed to work. I can only speak to the last 3 years, but I know it's been an issue for many, many years here. It's very frustrating for all involved. And we as staff are still having Wi-Fi issues, especially over in Borden. So I keep telling myself that we're making progress, because I believe we are making progress, except that Judy doesn't know how to put her phone on mute. There you go. Well, put her on mute, baby. So I wanted to share with you some of the key upgrades that we've done. And Vic, thank you for helping me with this as well. Honestly. See what I have to work with? I love my job. So some of the key network upgrades that have included, first and foremost, is the most recent implementation of the WPN, and that is the wireless private network. So as a result of that, you no longer have to register each device that you have in your household prior to using our network. And that's working, right, Vic? Your printed documents no longer end up on your neighbor's printer. It's working, right, Vic? And you no longer stream what you're watching to your neighbor's TV. Working, right, Vic? We've reduced the number of our networks from 7 networks we had on this campus down to 3. And that, of course, enhances our network's performance. And we have increased monitoring of the network performance using Meraki for the server side, 7 Signal for the client side, and WeBots for monitoring and packet captures for debugging network issues. We also implemented the SD-WAN and the SIP, as well as an update to our HyperFlex. So I have no idea what I just told you, but we've made progress. So, you know, I know that some of you think our Wi-Fi is a joke, and we are trying. And before I throw the baby out with the bathwater, we're going to give our new director an opportunity to come in, take a look at it, get some possible fixes or some ideas from them as a new set of eyes. But stay tuned. We're going to decide whether we can offer Wi-Fi or not. And if we can't, we're going to have to figure out who we can partner with to do that. So I'm not going to throw in the towel right now. And I do keep telling myself that we're making progress, and we are. But I know that it's been very frustrating, and I can appreciate that. But we can't be everything to everybody, so we're going to have to decide what we can. Another IT piece is last month I mentioned to you that we now have an emergency mass alert system. That you did get an email, I think, already to prepare you for tomorrow. We will be sending out an all points bulletin, a test message, and we would appreciate feedback. Stephanie will be sending that out, so your messages will go to Stephanie. If you can let us know that you got it, stop by, talk to her, send her an email, whatever it may be. But that will be coming out tomorrow. It worked with the staff. Many of us got it 3 or 4 different ways. And we were made aware that the test message did go out. That system will not be used other than to notify you of extreme emergencies. And we've talked about the active attacker, fire, bad weather, and power outages. Last but not least, you received an email from me yesterday about the departure of Kendall Crosslands from they're disaffiliating from Kendall Corporation. It's presumed that that exit will be about 6 to 9 months. So we're looking at the end of the year. I think we're all pretty much January to December. Is that correct, Felicia? So probably part of the goal that they would be starting as their own individual community, January 1 of next year. So in the message, I did say that I know many of you know other residents. Who's already heard about it before I even sent it out? Did anyone? You didn't know? Okay. Wow, I'm impressed. I actually beat the rumor mill for once. But the rumors will be plentiful. As I get more information, I will be glad to share that with you. We are still trying to come up with an affiliate agreement. The entire time that I've been here, 3 years, we have been working on what that affiliation agreement needs to look like and for all of us to sign it and be happy with it. We have a meeting on May 12th that will consist of all the board chairs and all of the CEOs across the system. And we will be continuing to talk about what that final document would look like. We do really want to get it signed this year. And that is our goal, at least by fall, we hope. We are still in the process. I believe a search committee has been put together at the corporate level to start to look for a new CEO. And this will be an interesting time to try to find a new CEO, but we will find one and continue to move forward as the Kendall Corporation and all the affiliates. So I wanted to take a couple minutes, if it's okay with you all, to get any questions that people may have.
How does Crosslands exit affect us?
It does not affect us on our day-to-day operations. It may affect us as an affiliate from the perspective of we all pay into a pot. And that pot pays for shared services, it pays for support services, and we don't know yet. But the one thing that I did say is that we now have additional communities coming in from California. One will be this fall, the other will be 2025, and they will also be paying into that support services. So it may not affect us at all from any perspective. But it will not affect our day-to-day operations and it will not affect who we are as Kendall.
Do you want to just make clear that the CEO search you mentioned is for the K Corp and not for you?
Did I say that? I love my job. It is for the Kendall Corporation. Sean left quite a few months ago now. So, and they're taking their time. And as you can imagine, this might slow them down a tad. So. Yes.
Can you say anything about the move of corporate to another location? Why they've done that and where it is?
Sure. The corporate office made a move.
The official move, I think, was in August.
Last August.
What's the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question is, can you tell us about the Kendall Corporation move and where they went? So Kendall Corp moved their offices. They used to be on the Kendall Crosslands campus, and that's where they had their office for, I'm assuming, 50 years. Kendall Crosslands will be 50 years this year. And so they recently moved and partner closer with the University of Delaware. So they are now headquartered in Newark, Delaware. So quaint little town. And they are doing quite a bit of research and working with students on senior living and how we can provide better care, how we can provide better lifestyles for seniors, and just in the Kendall tradition of trying to do things better and be a forerunner in the senior living industry. Enough? Yes.
Will Crossland still be a community? Will it be an independent senior center?
Will Kendall at Crossland still be a community? They will still be a life plan community as they are. They're taking all of their various buildings with them. They will be a standalone. They will not be an affiliate of Kendall.
What is the advantage of that?
What is the advantage of that? Kendall Crosslands is so financially strong that they can, and they take with them probably about 900 plus residents, and we figured probably about 500 staff. They can easily survive as a standalone. Not a big advantage for somebody like Kendall at Lexington. That would not be an advantage for us. We need the size and the power for purchasing and things like that. So that's the advantage of an affiliate.
Jan, would you clarify that we're talking about both Crosslands and Longwood?
Oh, the whole thing. They're Kendall Crosslands Communities, KCC. They are no longer Kendall Longwood. They're Kendall Crosslands Communities. They did that a few years back. Yes.
Is it all right to ask if that's a happy departure, or is it an unhappy one that's going to have some negative impact on the overall image of Kendall Places?
That's an excellent question. The question was, is it a mutually agreed upon, and is it going to be any issues for us? I don't know that I can answer that. I know that there have been some concerns, at least in the last 3 years, as we've gone through the affiliation agreement conversations. It is amazing when all of the affiliates can come to consensus on an affiliation agreement. I mean, just think of that. There's 13 of us, 12 of us. So nobody is gnashing teeth. It's not going to be a name calling or any issues like that. I think it's going to depend on the whole Kendall name. And there are some concerns as to who owns the name Kendall. So, and that has recently come up in the last few months. Kendall Crosslands feels that they own it. Kendall Corporation feels that they own it. So there's been a lot of attorneys working on that. We are going to continue to call ourselves Kendall, and Kendall Crosslands will continue to call themselves Kendall. What comes of that, I don't know. Yes.
The affiliate agreement that you have talked about, is that something new in the last few years, or is it replacing something that already existed?
Is the Kendall affiliate agreement new? No, it is not. They've been signing these agreements for years. And it's just been of recent, I think the last time they signed, there was some conversation. But in the past, it was just kind of, okay, let's sign the affiliation agreement and moved on. This time there's been a lot of conversation. But you all have to remember the senior living is changing a lot. There are a lot of mergers, there's acquisitions, there's closings. I mean, senior living is really at a critical point where we have to learn to do things differently. And we have to be looking at the future. So that's exactly what Kendall at Lexington is doing. We have consultants that I introduced you to or told you about the last time I was up here. We're looking at Kendall at Lexington. What Kendall Corporation does, what others do, we're looking to the future. I want Kendall at Lexington to be here 50 years from now. And that's exactly what we're doing. Alicia and I are working with the team of consultants along with the board. What do we want to look like when we grow up? We're only 23 years old. So we are young. Yes.
Do you have any idea of when the third wing of Borden is going to be put to use?
When is the third wing of Borden going to be put to use? That is definitely part of our conversation. And what we can do with it. Right now, it's not put to use. Pardon?
Have the concerns that lead Kendall Crosslands to want to disaffiliate been involved in the inability of the affiliates to sign a new affiliation agreement? Or stated differently,
Sure.
if they're not going to be there, would it be easier for the others to find a new affiliation agreement?
Would it be easier if Kendall Crosslands was not at the table and have they been holding it up? No. I think that a few of the affiliates have had some concerns and questions raised. Most recent, who owns the Kendall name? So Kendall Crosslands is a huge, huge chunk of Kendall Quarter. So they have no larger say at the table than any other affiliate does. Does that help? Yes.
Sorry to ask another question, but is there one affiliate agreement for all Kendalls? Or are
Yes.
the affiliate agreements tailored to each location?
One affiliate agreement for all the kennels.
So it's a one size fits all fit?
One size fits all. And that's another issue. One of the other communities wants a fee for service as opposed to paying an affiliation. What do you call
Yeah,
it?
we call it system fees.
System fee. We call it the system fee that we pay. Yes,
So do we pay basically the same thing that?
No.
another Kendall affiliate would pay?
depends on the size.
Okay.
It's based on your budget expenses.
Based on your budgeted expenses, which has to do with your size as well. So, these are great questions. Anything else? I can't see Zoom land, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah, yes.
Thank you very much for being transparent and sharing all of that information.
Well, thank you, Jen. I'm gonna have to cancel all of the speakers since she took up all their time here anyway, so we'll try to squeeze the other speakers in. No, Todd, you have to stay. You have to stay. One thing, Jan, we hope you're not one of the ones applying for the CEO job at Kendall Corporation. That would not be a good thing. Okay, you're set for us, so. The other thing I want to thank.
I love my job.
You love us. You love us.
I love you.
Well, that's your staff. What about us? What about us? No.
God, how many times do you need to hear it?
I know, we need this, we need to know. I also want to thank IT. As you noticed, since 10 o'clock, we've had no IT personnel here, up here, fiddling around with this,
Careful.
whatever this Zoom. They haven't been up here on the board trying to figure out what's wrong. Things seem to be working out right, so IT must be doing their job here. And I want to thank Greg and Harold, and of course, we always have to thank Vic for keeping Greg and Harold on their toes here. And one last thing, Jen, we know nothing about what's going on until you tell us. We rely on you to tell us what's going on, so, because we know when it comes from you, we get the truth and the whole truth from it, so. Anyway, that's enough of that. Anyway, I think the next one is Todd. Please come up here, and don't ask him a lot of questions, although we'll have to have a separate meeting for Jen and Todd. Go ahead and ask whatever you want.
All right, good morning. I'm Todd. I've been here 7.5 months because Jan threatened me with grievous bodily harm otherwise. First thing I want to update you on, as you may remember the last meeting, I broke the clock when I tried to change it for daylight savings time. So there is a new functioning clock in the back of the room. That is my big accomplishment for the last month. Couple other things to update you on. We talked last time about the generator panel replacement and that we identified the need once we got into the guts of the generator for some improved, better lightning protection. That has been funded and approved and is on order. It is not yet in hand, and it will be a non-disruptive installation when they go to put that in, but that is moving. We should have better protection for our generators shortly. The grill exhaust for the dining room, I talk to Johnson Controls once a week. They haven't forgotten us. I get very short answers saying, yes, they're still putting it in the work queue and scheduling a bucket crane to actually be high enough up to do what they need on the roof. It is not yet scheduled, but they are honoring the contract and the price and putting us in the work queue. The improvements to the air handling unit, number 1 and number 2, which is our heating and air conditioning for really Anderson and a fair bit of South, is well underway. All of the hardware for air handler number 1 is in, and the programming is now starting. So we don't yet have the improved functionality that we want, but we've made good progress on that, and the guy is down there punching buttons and muttering to himself almost every day, getting the program. The repairs from the Christmas sprinkler freezes and breaks are done in the pool. They finished at the end of last week. The scaffolding is still up, but tell me they are coming Friday to remove the scaffolding. So everything is done. The roof actually fit back into place. We didn't have extra pieces when we were done, nor lose anything. So that went very well. And sometime Friday that'll come out, and that'll be a short disruption while they work on that. I don't know the exact time. And then that one can be put to bed and off the list. The work in the capital budget for an employee lounge. The work is not underway, but we did create and distribute a survey so we can try to make some informed decisions about what people want and the priorities and so forth. That's been running for probably a week. I'm going to let that go for another few days to the end of this week. And as you can probably imagine, every single opinion on the spectrum that exists, we got back. So it's going to be very hard for me to figure out a consensus on that. So I guess I'll make a nice little graph and look at it once I get the surveys back. We continue to get roofing quotes for our big 100,000 square foot roofing replacement that's going to happen this year. I've got a third company now promising me I'll have their final quote package here within the week. And then that will be 3 companies I've spoken with, and I feel like that is reasonable. We can make some good decisions at that point going forward. Our collection of used cars in the rear lot of Jan's Used Cars. I'm working on reducing the lot frontage for that. So 3 of our old ones I'm surplusing out, and we'll get them out of there because they're no longer really serviceable for what we need. And I'll be replacing them with one nice, better one in the near future. So it should look a little bit less like a used car lot shortly back there. The wayfinding signs we ordered last October that came in wrong. Came in correctly last week, and they're actually up. So now next up is working with marketing for the correct fonts and the good quality printouts of what actually goes into the removable part of the sign. But the rigid production parts were correct, and they've all been in place. They just don't have the little arrows and labels under them yet. We'll be adding them shortly. Been working with some folks primarily on the horticulture committee about screening with vegetation some of these utility and transformer boxes and things that are around the campus. That is moving. In doing that work up at the front entrance where there's an array of half a dozen or so up there, I discovered one of those is actually out of service and no longer in use. So I was just going to hook my truck up to it and rip it out and haul it away. But Highland helped me out with that because he put his multimeter on it and said, no, it still is live with over 200 volts. So thank you, Highland. I did not do that. So we've talked to Comcast and Dominion. They are disconnecting it safely, and then it will be removed and out of service. So the screening will go forward, but there will at least be one less thing behind the screening that we have to worry about. The Accessibility Committee identified some concerns with the visual setup on the back stairs coming from the second floor here down, where it's bright white concrete next to bright white railings and bright white fencing and so forth. And in certain times of day, depending where the sun is and there's not shadows, it can actually be difficult to see the stairs and safely get down there. They just arrived yesterday. I've ordered some black traction strips that will be mounting to the steps. Traction's not an issue. The concrete's actually very good that's out there. But these black strips, similar to what we put over on Sunnyside, I'm going to put in place there just as a visual delineation as you go down there. So that should make it a little easier. The Washington and Lee student pond study wrapped up. Jan and I went to their final presentation a week or two ago. They did a really good, thorough job on the study. I've gotten digital copies. I'm asking them for a hard copy of their final study. And when I do, I'll make that available to you. I'll probably label it with a "Please do not steal" sign and put it next to the 3 North binder. It's in the back if you all want to see what the students did. It is an on-the-shelf study. They've identified, hey, the pond as it was sketched in the 3 North book can't be built because of where the gas line is and so forth. But if we choose to do a similar or smaller pond in that vicinity, there are some options. So really, it's just a decision tool that's on the shelf that will be used for future analysis of projects to either do or not do. But you should see a hard copy for that in the near future if you want to read through it. And last thing I'll share with y'all is Will Ferris, our maintenance manager. Him and his family are moving to Georgia in the near future. And right now, he commutes an hour from West Virginia. And I said, you've already set a dangerous precedent, so I expect you to remain here and commute from Georgia. But apparently, it's significantly longer than an hour, no matter how you drive. So it's still a month yet. He's given us plenty of notice. We're starting to put some feelers out for some good backfill for him. But in a month, he'll be moving south to Georgia in the middle of summer. So I'm not sure that's a great decision on his part. So those are my updates. And Jan took all the time, so I probably can't take any questions. Okay, I see a pressing question. I'll take it.
On this roofing project, has there been any thought given to solar panels when they put the new roof on?
We talked about it. The problem with it is the way we're set up is we're just not ready in one lump phase to do it. To do anything of significant size is a major capital undertaking that's not in the current capital budget. But in talking to the companies, we're talking about the flashing, the connections, dealing with any of the structural issues. Because if you'd asked me 7 months ago when I got here, can we put solar on these main roofs here? My answer was no, because of what I saw up in the attics. That answer will change to yes, we can at the end of this project. So are we tying solar into the roofing? No. Are we dealing with structural infrastructure improvements so that option is open in the future? Yes. Any other pressing questions? All right, thank you all.
And next up, we have our marketing update here. Kathy, Katie,
Close enough.
Kevin,
Kevin.
it's all stuff.
Kevin, Katie, yep. Good morning. I just wanted to start out by saying our new director starts this Monday. Erica Turman will be joining us. Kevin and I had the opportunity, and Becky had the opportunity to have lunch with her about a week and a half ago, and that went really well. So we're excited for her to start. She's going to be located in Brittany's old office, right beside the mailboxes. So she'll be a little bit closer than what we had previously. Also wanted to talk about occupancy. We're still doing very well. We right now have 2 apartments available. One small, a B, which is a 1-bedroom. And then we have an F as in Frank, which is a 2-bedroom den apartment. We've gone pretty deep into our wait list. So now is the time, if you guys have any friends that are considering it, now's the time that they could have a quick move. Also along the same lines, if any of you are on the fence and have kind of been thinking about or considering an internal move, this is the time to come talk to either me or Kevin, or we'll give Erica a couple weeks. And then we also had 1 new reservation this month. So we have a couple that reserved a cottage out in Sycamore coming from Vermont. So we'll stay tuned for that. We'll let you know more information about them when we can. And I'll pass this on to Kevin to talk about this month.
Good morning. Well, it's been super busy in the last month since the last Residents Association meeting. Katie and I have had 20 tours, try-its, and significant meetings. So we've been super busy, which is normal for this time of the year. Tours, try-its, folks came here from an impressive list of locations: Amherst, Virginia, Ontario, Canada, Washington, DC, Hamilton, New York, Owl's Head, New York, Buffalo, New York, Racine, Virginia, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Henrico, Virginia, McLean, Virginia, Weaversville, North Carolina, Stowe, Massachusetts, Sutton, Vermont, Brookline, Massachusetts, and 6 different couples and individuals from Lexington, Virginia. So we're all over, we're bringing them in from all over the place. And the result of that, besides the one new reservation that Katie just got, we've had 4 new waitlist members join since the last Residents Association meeting. 2 from Lexington, 1 from Massachusetts, and 1 from Canada. So that brings us to year-to-date 10 new waitlist folks. So despite having 185 on the wait list, we've got these 2 apartments on the 3rd floor that we have had a hard time filling. So as Katie said, if you personally are thinking about a move from a cottage, or if you have any friends who are interested in an apartment, please send them our way. Thank you.
We on the 3rd floor have very high standards of who moves into the 3rd floor. So and we're working closely with Marky that they just don't get anybody to come into our residence. That's not good.
You're the one up there making your.
Well, anyway. The next one on the agenda was supposed to be the C&E update because I forgot to list another administration personnel to give a talk. And we all know who that is. Judy. You know, I forgot when I typed this agenda 2 days ago, I just forgot that she wanted to give us an update. And in the middle of last night, I woke up. And who woke me up was Judy. You do not have me on the agenda. And I went down and saw her early this morning, and I apologize profusely. And I've inserted her into my amended agenda. So Judy, you have as much time as you want, not as much as Jan took, but you have whatever time you need to tell us what's going on.
Well, thank you so much. I can't say I've ever been told I was unforgettable, so. Updates in dining. We continue to look for some staff in the kitchen for cooks, etc. Hello, Zoom. Front of the house staff, we'll need to boost up as we move forward. The restaurant is now open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. Every 2 weeks, we will continue that till we start filling up the restaurant consistently on those 3 nights. Other than that, from an operational point of view, that's all I have to say, but thank you, Paul. There's been a few rumors going around that I'd like to dispel and make sure you guys are all on the same page. So effective February 17th of this year, I did put in my retirement notice. I will be leaving Kendall at the end of this year. And rather than me make something up here, I just bought the notice and I'm just going to read it. Because as you've noticed, from an emotion point of view, it's very difficult to leave all of you and you. So here she goes. My years spent with Kendall at Lexington have been the most rewarding years of my life in food service. The residents, CLT members, and board members I have worked with over the years at Kendall have given me a sense of purpose never ever experienced in business dining. I would like to thank you for allowing me this opportunity and realizing the reward of dealing with such an awesome group of individuals, coworkers, staff. I hope at some point I have made a positive, the key word here being positive, impact on everyone I have come in contact with. Giving such advance notice of my retirement will allow me to assist in the transition of a new director of culinary here at Kendall as we continue to move forward. Thank you again for allowing me to serve you as director of culinary through these previous 7 years. It has been truly a pleasure. With gratitude, moi.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you for that. Premature announcement. You have about 10 more months to go. We expect you to be here every day, working hard for it, because we know you love us.
I do, but your math is terrible.
Anyway, I will not forget you next time, I'm sure. Jan, your staff is falling apart here. I mean, let's get on it. I mean, we won't have anybody to talk to us, you know, at our monthly meetings, so you'll just have to take over for everything. But anyway, Judy, we wish you the best, but we're expecting a lot more work of you before you leave, so we're not going to say goodbye yet. So we have a lot of time left to meet with you and work with you. Next up, we have our C&E update. So Doreen is going to fill in for Diane, who just left town. You know, once again, I can't schedule my trips until after the third Wednesday at 11 o'clock. But Diane, she skipped town this morning, so she had left the work to do with Doreen to give us an update.
What a meeting this has been. C&E committee's been busy. Tomorrow is the Marshall Foundation lecture on the untold story of Anna Rosenberg. And I think there's still some spots left on that if someone wants to ride the bus. And they used to have a charge for these lectures, but now these lectures are all free. And on Friday, SVU, Southern Virginia University, is having another play. And this is George Bernard Shaw's St. Joan. And there's some more spots on that bus too. The Rockbridge Chorus concerts at Lex Press on Sunday. And as you know, we try to go out to dinner once a month. This next time is going to be at the Country Club, and that's on April 27th. We figured this would be a good time to go. There'd be a pretty view out the windows. And we still have lots of bus space for that. Lots of people are signed up for carpool, but we might not have enough for the bus unless some more people sign up. Then next month, we're going to go to the House Mountain Inn for dinner. That, of course, has a beautiful setting, nice views. This is going to be a fixed price dinner. It'll be $35, including tax and tip. And there'll be two choices of entrees, chicken, fish, and pasta. And then into May, our Sunrise Ridge Boys are going to be here. They'll be playing a concert on May 2nd. And then on May 4th, Ed Dooley will be back to present another one of his talks on Lexington. Some of the unnoticed details of the buildings that have survived to this day. And then on May 6th, this is something very new. Our own Ukrainian Rima would like to bring her family here and tell all of us about the story of their journey from Ukraine to here. And I think that'll be very interesting. And she'd like to have her daughter play a short piano, piece on a piano. So that will be good. Then on May 9th, Julia Gudimova and Anna Villas will be here to for a pre-concert performance. And on May 15th, the VMI Memorial Parade will take place. And that's the one that used to be called the Newmarket Parade. VMI really takes excellent care of us when we attend that. Special seating and bottles of water and everything. Be sure to always check in the Elko for the things that are posted there, because there are several really interesting things there. But always check the C&E bulletin board too, because these things changed a lot. New things change. Yeah, we're not.
Candle Singers, May 11th.
Okay, Candle Singers, May 11th. Okay, thank you. Well, this is just C&E events, and I know there are a lot of other ones too, but I'm just talking about C&E right now. Sorry. Thank you.
There's a lot going on with CD, and I will commend the committee that I used to be a member of for all the activities and special events and trips they're making here. And there's just a lot. If you look at that board and look at connections and everything that's going on, I mean, it'd be impossible for us to attend all those things, but I think there's enough variety that we hope you will be able to sign up and attend at least some of those events here. The bus, obviously, takes 14 people. That's for the benefit of the people who don't want to drive, who have mobility issues, that don't have a car. But, you know, if the bus is available, take the bus. If it's available instead of driving, you know, it's just easier. It seems to me, I'll take the bus if I don't have, instead of driving anytime. So consider that. Next up, we have Bob Gettys to give us a little update on Kendall College.
Well, your Kendall College committee has been active. I'm here this morning to announce our newest Kendall College series, and that's a series on climate change. We will have for a 3-lecture series coming up on May 17th, the 24th, and 31st, Jane Stewart, who is the Director of the W&L Office of Sustainability and Energy Education. She will describe for us the multifaceted initiatives that W&L has taken over the past 20+ years to mitigate the effects of climate change and deal with environmental degradation. Jane has been with the university for about 12 years. She's been the leader in developing their climate action plan and also their sustainability initiatives. If you're concerned about the future of our planet and your children and grandchildren who are going to live on it, then this is probably a presentation you won't want to miss. We've had previously an excellent series on climate change about two and a half years ago. It focused on the science of climate change. Jane instead is going to be focused on the nuts and bolts of how you address global warming and environmental issues in her talks. I think you'll find it very interesting. I think you'll find it very engaging. All lectures, as usual, will begin at 4:30 in the afternoon, right here in Kendall Hall on those 3 succeeding Wednesdays that I mentioned. Registration information will be out about 10 days in advance of the first series, so in early May. While I'm here, I'll just mention that if you are registered for the current series on investment issues that is being offered by Leah Bassanami, who is a professor of finance at W&L, you won't want to miss her final lecture in that series, which is this afternoon at 4:30. I thank you very much for your time.
Now for the rest of the hour, it says President's remarks. I wanted to let you know that the Fellowship Fund, we've been trying to raise money for the fellowship, the annual Fellowship Fund drive. We've raised $39,965. We had 69 households donate to that fund, the annual fund, with an average of $579. So we had about half of the households here at Kendall donate to the Fellowship Fund, which once again is the one that, should you run into financial difficulties that will prevent you from paying your monthly fee, that this fund is available for you, so that nobody ever has to leave Kendall due to financial situation. That's not of their own doing, of course. But anyway, that's what we raised this year. Of course, next month, you will receive a letter for the semi-annual staff appreciation fund. Last December, we raised $100,000 to give to our staff in lieu of tips. And we hope to raise another $100,000 this spring. So you'll be receiving a letter in May sometime, and that'll run through the middle of June when they'll issue checks to the staff for the staff appreciation fund. Also, we have a yard sale. You've got notice of the yard sale that's going to happen on Saturday, 13th of May. They're going to clear out the center parking lot here, and so people can set up tables to bring all their goods that they want to sell to the residents and to the outside community. So if you are interested, if you have things in your apartment, in your cottages that you just want to get rid of, but you want to sell, as opposed to give it to Habitat, you have to contact Elizabeth Harrelson by the 1st of May. So let her know what you want, if you want a table or half table, what your needs will be. And you'll be set up in the middle parking lot here. And the other thing is we ask everybody not to park in the front here, so that the outside community will have a parking space to come in to purchase all the goods that we have in our apartments here. The last thing I want to mention is I know you probably have read the council minutes of our meeting. I just want to read the one part of the minutes that deal with the 3 North plans. It said the council members discussed the concerns raised by several residents over 3 North Committee plans to build a timber shelter on Sycamore Hill. This was, you noticed if you saw the minutes of the 3 North Committee, it's their budget for the year. I'm a member of that committee as well. There's 7 residents on that committee, as well as Jan, and also Pam Luckey, the president of the board, is on that committee, and Todd. So the majority of members are residents on that committee. And part of we were given $75,000 budget this year to spend on developing the 3 North plan. And in the budget, in the minutes of the 3 North meeting, it shows that they were planning to build a pavilion on top of Sycamore Hill. And it would cost around $70,000, which was quite a bit of money here. But that deals with the site preparation, the pavilion itself, which is $35,000, roofing, lean-to and permits and all that. Anyway, subsequent to the publishing their minutes, the council did meet this month, and we discussed this particular aspect of their budget, dealing with the development of the timber frame pavilion. And it was a consensus of the council that the timber shelter should not be built at this time, and that additional input should be requested from residents before proceeding with this construction. Now, obviously, myself and other council members received input from residents about their concerns about spending this amount of money on top of Sycamore Hill. There's concerns about, will anybody go up there? Will it be used? Is it worth to spend that much money up there, or should we do it now or later? I conveyed these issues to the members of the 3 North Committee, and they have decided to hold that purchase in abeyance at this time. So they will not proceed with the construction of a timber shelter at this time. They want to, and so that means it's not off the agenda, off the future budget item, but they will not proceed at this time. Whether that's a consensus of all the residents, we don't know, because, we don't hear from everybody. We hear from, obviously, people who have objections to it. But there may be a number of you who feel that that is a good investment of our time and that it would be utilized, but we just don't know at this point. So it's better that we hold that in abeyance right now. But let me say that the next project that the committee will be looking at is the development of Kendall Park. That's the flat area, the only flat area we have on our property pretty much, from Kendall Drive and Spring Lot Drive, where Nielsen set up all their trailers construction. And there is a game day scheduled for, I think it's, when is the game day? May 3rd. And we invite all residents to come down to that place here and participate. So we get an idea whether even Kendall Park would be utilized. Is this a good place to spend our money as well, developing that? But if we don't get the participation of the residents, we just don't know how to proceed with that. Should that just remain a grassy area? Or do we want to develop it to have games, whether it's pickleball or bowling ball or tennis or whatever else we want there? But we need the residents to show up and show an interest in that and what they're looking for, what they think it could be utilized for. And that would help the 3 North Committee make further decisions of how they're going to proceed with the development of the 3 North plan. We are going to continue developing the 3 North plan. The plan is up in the library there. And we do have this, we still have the $75,000 budget, which we hope to utilize this year. But we want to make sure that it's done with the support of the community as well. And so make your views known to the 7 members of that committee. Make your views known to the council members and let us know how you feel about it, what you think should be done, and how we should develop the 3 North plan. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What will the games be?
What were the games? I don't know who's in charge of that anyway. Is it I'm not sure. Who's running the games? Here's the answer, stepping up here.
There will be cornhole. There'll be 4 sets of cornhole up there. And if you don't know what cornhole is, you take this little bag and you toss it about 20 feet or so and try to get it into a little hole in a board. There will be croquet. We've set up an area. If you happen to go up there, you'll see little flags in 4 corners, about 100 feet by 50 feet for croquet. So there'll be croquet up there. There will be a game where you try to take, I don't know what they call it, pull sticks out of a thing that has balls in it. It's a name that I've never heard of before.
Stickball.
Stickball. So those are the main things that are going to be had. There will be ice cream, places to sit. There'll be other things. We'll get more notices out about other kinds of activities that are going on. So come enjoy yourself. Now, if it's raining, we will postpone it till May 10th. So mark your calendars 3rd. We hope it'll be a nice day. One of the problems up there I've discovered is it could be windy. That whole area up there gets a lot of wind. So that may help the people who are standing at one end of the cornhole tossing. The other people have to throw a little harder. But the total list of games will be coming to you shortly. Come enjoy, put it on your calendar.
Thank you very much, Ed. So anyway, despite all the questions we had, but I think we had a good meeting today, better than I had thought. Not because I'm standing here, but because Jan here was able to answer many of the questions we have. And I want to thank you for being here, and we're only 10 minutes over, but so what? Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.